What is up, guys? It is Shipwreck Samantha here, and today I'm going to be doing a little Q&A video for you guys, or as it's also known, Ask the Artist, because these are mostly art-related questions that I got. I post on Instagram for you guys to ask me questions, and I have a lot of questions from two different people from my Instagram account, and I must say, you guys being people who follow me on Instagram are like notorious for giving me difficult questions to answer. I'm never good at answering these questions, but we're gonna get straight into the questions now. The first question from Plushlight Creatures is, what do you do besides art? Like, are you an art student or do you have another job? Okay, let me figure out how to answer this question. Well, first of all, I guess to best clarify, I graduated high school back in December. I graduated a year and a half early, so I went straight into having a job. I do not actually plan on going to college. My plan is to find other methods of improving my artwork the best way I can to avoid going to college altogether. Although, if I'm completely honest, my first choice if I were to go to college one day would be SCAD. That's like my dream college. But anyways, so I am just working a job right now. I work at an inflatable place, you know, with the bouncy castles. It's like regular person during the day, artist by night type of thing. So I just work on my artwork at nighttime, and I plan on trying to find some sort of college course to take artwork-wise, a certified course that I can take without actually getting a degree. So that's kind of my compromise between going to college and, like, I don't want to commit to a degree, but I really would love to get some college experience. So my plan is to try and find a certificate course that I can take for illustration. So that's kind of where I am right now. That was a really long answer. Okay. The next question from Plushlight Creatures is, in case you haven't answered this already, what was the first art medium you tried and that made you decide to commit to art? This is a difficult question to answer, mainly because I have been doing artwork my entire life, or at least as long as I can remember. I don't remember a time when I wasn't creating artwork, so if I was to pick the first art medium I tried, I guess that would be drawing. Because really, up until I was 12 years old, drawing was the only thing I ever did. I just drew and drew and draw and drew and draw, drawing and drew. And that's all I did until I was 12 and I learned how to paint and I got obsessed with that, and then I was 14 or 15 when I was introduced to digital illustration and digital artwork, and I really expanded on that a lot, so that's kind of where I am now. Yeah, I guess I would say drawing is the first medium I was introduced to, just a regular pencil and paper, nothing fancy. That's how I got started. Yeah, I guess that made me decide to commit to art. I never really said I'm committing to art because it's something I always did, if that makes sense. If it came to committing to it as a career, I committed to that at a very young age too. Probably about 10 or 12 years old, I decided I'm going to do an art career, and that hasn't really changed since then. The last question is, who are your biggest inspirations? Okay, I have a couple. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Maya or Maya? I was guessing Maya. That's kind of how I've always said it in my head. But you, when it came to when I used to sculpt, you were such a big inspiration to me because you were such a big motivator to me when I was struggling with my sculpting, and you really helped me to motivate me to keep going, and you kind of brought me up when I was feeling down with my artwork. And I just want to thank you for how helpful you were during that time, because even though I don't sculpt anymore, the things that you helped me with then, I'm still doing now. So I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but I thought I'd throw that out there because I really, really admire your artwork, and so thank you for asking these questions. As for other inspirations, one of them would be Jasmine. I don't remember her last name. I feel like I should look it up. What was it? And you know what? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I found it. I have a print from Jasmine. Her full name is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. This is the illustration that I got from her. It is an Alice in Wonderland piece. She works with Disney to create amazing artwork that she sells as prints at Downtown Disney. I was so upset because the last time I was in downtown Disney a couple weeks ago, I was there when Jasmine was in the Wonderground Gallery talking about her artwork, and I missed her. I was so upset because I could have been there and I didn't know, and I was like, oh, I could have seen Jasmine. She's such a big inspiration to me. Her art style is just beautiful and I love it. Just look at that. She creates her eye. The reason why all of her characters, well, not her characters, I mean obviously it's Alice, but the reason why all of her illustrations have really big eyes is because she models them after herself, because she has very large eyes herself, and I really love characters with like really big eyes. She has this almost gothic look to a lot of her pieces, and I just love it, and I had to get this Alice in Wonderland print. It's just wonderful. So my last inspiration I would pick is a very well-known Disney artist, Thomas Kincaid, and I actually have this with me. My sister, you see my face? I want you to actually be able to hear me. My sister put together this puzzle because she bought a kit of them, and when she's not attached to puzzles, so when she was done, she glued it together so I can have an illustration of Thomas Kincaid. He's a very well-known artist, and even if you don't know his name, you probably recognize his work for his style of very vibrant colors and extreme attention to detail. And his work is just amazing, and I find it extremely inspiring. I really wish I could own his whole Disney collection because it's just beautiful, but I get to own the Peter Pan one as a puzzle. I need to cut this down, but it's something. So really those are my main inspirations. Next question. Okay, Sea Sky 71 asked, what sea creature do you identify with the most? Huh, that's an interesting question. Identify with. I guess I could pick my favorite sea creature. Would that be okay if I just pick my favorite? If I just pick my favorite sea creature? I think I've been looking at the viewfinder this whole time, and I'm really sorry if I have been. I should just turn around the viewfinder. There we go, now I can't see myself. My favorite sea creature is the green sea turtle. I'm just like obsessed with them. They're so wonderful. And yeah, that's about it. I love the green sea turtles, as well as loggerheads, leatherbacks, pretty much all green sea turtles, no, not pretty much all sea turtles. I love them. They're wonderful. Next question by Seasky71 is, do you scuba dive? I wish. I actually did take a scuba diving lesson when I was 13, 14. I took a scuba diving lesson, and it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I actually almost got my standard scuba diving license last year that would allow me to do like surface diving, things that involved like excursions. If you go on an excursion on a cruise or something, you go skydive. Why do I keep saying skydive? And you go scuba diving, that you need a certificate for. I almost got my base level certificate. I honestly still want to because I really want to scuba dive more. I miss it, and it's really the most amazing experience we've ever had because there's nothing like going underwater and continuing to breathe. It's so against your nature. I'll have to admit, when I first went underwater, I held my breath and then realized I'm supposed to be breathing right now, and it doesn't quite feel right when you first start doing it. But it's an amazing experience, and I really want to do it again. Honestly, it's still something I'd love to do one day, to be a professional scuba diver. It's kind of one of my dream jobs. Another question by Seasky71 is, what, if anything, about the sea scares you? I don't know. The sea isn't a scary thing to me. It's something that I really am passionate about. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Really all my social medias, my Instagram, everything that's related to sea creatures. This is a hard question because it doesn't scare me, I guess, because I love it so much. I guess the one scenario that would make me scared is if I was in, like, surrounded by sharks in the water. I mean, I know that sharks aren't just constantly aggressive and that you can actually swim with sharks without them attacking you, but at the same time, if I'm surrounded by sharks, I'm gonna get nervous, and I honestly would prefer not to be in that situation. So I guess that's the one thing about the sea that would scare me, is if I was like out scuba diving or something and came across a few sharks. That I would rather enjoy those behind a glass. Yeah. Although I would love to swim with sharks one day. I would love to get in one of those shark cages. You know, where you can get in a scuba gear and get one of those cages and like have sharks swim around you. I'd love to do that, but I'd rather be safe. Be the cage and not just swim with them. The last question by Sea Sky 71 has, have you ever drawn airplanes? No, I have not. I guess I've just never really taken an interest in it. Something that I never really thought about before. Maybe it's something I'll try in the future. Thanks for asking all those questions, Sea Sky 71, as well as plush-like creatures. I enjoyed answering them, and I hope my answers made sense. And if you're new here, I create new art-related... I cannot talk. Every time I do my outro, I cannot say it right. If you're new around here, I create new art-related videos every Friday, so if you aren't already and you'd like to be sure to join my pirate group by hitting subscribe right there down below. That's all I have for you today, so I will see you guys next Friday.